Hello everyone, it's Dr. Sam. I'd like to welcome you to my Eye Clarity podcast. This is a show that offers cutting-edge information on how to improve your vision and overall wellness through holistic methods. I so appreciate you spending part of your day with me. If you have questions, you can send them to hello@drsambyrne.com. Now, to the latest Eye Clarity episode. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Sam, and I'd like to welcome you to another Eye Clarity podcast. As part of the Summit series, today I am interviewing a fabulous Summit speaker, and she has been a teacher, I think, her whole life. She's had many lives, and she is the founder and owner of Still Point Aromatics. I'm doing a little commercial here. This is my top essential oil company that I use, and in my community, I recommend aromatherapy, and it's in all my classes and all my eye work. And so Virginia Joy, let me give you a little background. She's originally from New York, and she has migrated to one of my favorite cities, Sedona, Arizona, and she opened up Still Point Aromatics, which imports over 470 organic and wild harvested biodynamically farmed essential oils that are extracted through the entire world. And I just bought a lot of oils, and it just brings back so many memories of all the oils that I use. And so Virginia Joy, V-Joy, welcome to the program. It is so great to have you. How are you doing today? How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Yes, pretty good.
Good.
And thank you.
Okay.
My honor to be here. Really, my honor.
Well, both of our honors, but thank you so much. So tell me a little bit about how you got involved in the essences, and you've made it your passion. You have a very successful company. How did you get into it?
Oh my God, that was in my other life. I used to use the essential oils when I taught fifth grade with the kids. This is way back when. And so we would use different oils, the usual safe ones, lavender would help them calm down. We'd use rosemary before writing workshop. And the kids would have their favorite plant, their favorite oil, and then we would put a drop on their test. And so that's how it started, really.
I love it, putting it on their test.
Yeah.
That's a way to go. So in terms of, today in our climate, COVID climate, and we're talking a lot about immune health, what do you recommend for people so that they can, stay away from the drugs and all that, and use essential oils to boost their immune health?
There are a few actually. So the top one really is, it's not even an essential oil, it's cold pressed black cumin, right? Nigella sativa. There's that and to use as a cold pressed oil in tea, in a teaspoon, in a capsule. And then its sister, its counterpart, the black seed essential oil is fantastic to use also because of the I think it's a thymoquine in it. So there's that. And people that don't like that, then there are the usuals, like rosemary essential oil is fantastic, and lemon, thyme, benchmark thyme is awesome. And you could use them in variety of ways, from diffusing to topical. Like there's this great aromatic morning routine people could do if they want to start the day off right, boost their immune system, and use the oils are black spruce, laurel leaf, a little bit of clove bud, not too much, and benchmark thyme. And you just put a couple of drops of each in your hands in the shower, and while you're still wet, you just put there all the you'll know the area. It's the areas where between the digits and the toes. I say it wrong, integumentary areas. So you put the oil on chest, under the armpits, and let the water hit you, and you start the day off alert, and also with quite a bit of protection, energetically as well as within the system. And so,
yeah, ditto. I mean, I'm so with you on it. So many variety of ways to, get the essential oils into your body. And it's a good reminder about black cumin and the different ways you can use it in black seed. And then these other ones, I take a shower with laurel leaf, and it just, penetrates so deeply, right? Into.
Yes, no, it's awesome.
Go ahead.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And laurel leaf also has the energetic protection, of it's the traveler's herb. So back in the day, you would put a bay laurel in your shoe while you were traveling, so you'd reach your destination safe. So I'm big into I'm big into the energetics too, for you can't separate them, right? Mind, body, metaphysical, physical.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah.
It's one of the things that's drawn me to you and your company is the fact that you are using both the physical and the energetic. The energetic is sometimes even more potent. At least I have found it to be the case, and so I really love that you bring that in.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move a little bit into some of the essential oils in relationship to kind of more of a spiritual way that you use them. I know that you teach a lot of courses through your company, Still Point Aromatics, and one of your favorite ones is the Mystery School. And I would love for you to talk about the application of the oils and how you weave that into your Mystery School.
So, okay. So with the Mystery School, really what the whole purpose of that is to help people live a balanced life on this planet and connect with their essence, so to speak. So it sounds kind of hokey, but the essential oil, the essence of the essential oil connected to the essence of us, we could really do some deep work and clear old patterns. And I live in Sedona. It's awesome. It's an awesome place, but I mean, it's like a spiritual Las Vegas in a lot of ways. Everybody is always looking to oh my God, astral project and all of this stuff, but like we're in a meat suit. And so the whole idea is to learn how to live in the meat suit, walk among the people, create magic and miracles for ourselves and others while we're here. And that's really how I integrate using the oils, like with those teachings. And so, the resin oils are great. The galbanum, myrrh, the ancient ones are really helpful. Most of the time when we're working with them for to affect the spiritual body, it's mostly through inhalation, a little bit of application, chakra points, stuff like that. But and the most important thing is that people have to like what they're smelling. If they
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I remember one night to bed, I wore spikenard, and my wife's like, "Get out of here! I just can't handle that."
Yeah,
And yet it was, such great dreams, right?
No, no, I'd be right there with her. So.
Yeah, exactly. So when you say resin oils, are you talking about things like frankincense or vetiver, or which ones? You mentioned galbanum, which is a very ancient essential oil. I love that aroma. But what other ones do you use?
So frankincense, myrrh, balsam copaiba is a really nice one. And then there are the oils. I call them the pricey ones, but one of the best ones to use is agar wood. And the perfumers know it as oud, but it's fantastic. Sure. And really the reason is it is. It's great, and it's great. Well, the whole backstory, if you look at the plant parts, from where they come, So agar wood is
Hmm.
from the agar wood tree. And though that tree, it gets a virus or a fungus, that part of the tree dies. And then that's the part that's distilled. So it's like,
Interesting.
yeah, so it's a perfect of transformation, death, life, rebirth. So it's awesome for meditation and for deep
Hmm.
healing, emotional wounds. Um,
Hmm.
but it's a pricey one. So, but it's
It
awesome.
is, yeah, but it
Yeah.
it works, and um, yeah, thanks for that reminder. So we're here with Virginia Joy. She is the founder of Still Point Aromatics, essential oil company based in Sedona, Arizona, and she's one of our featured speakers for and a sponsor for our upcoming summit. And I want you to check her out at her website. I'll put that in the notes. And she puts on a lot of workshops, teaches people how to use the essential oils safely. And let's talk about the respiratory system for a minute, because we're kind of in this, virus flu situation, and we have the winter flu. What do you recommend? What are your protocols for respiratory health?
So for respiratory health, at the first sniffle, one of the best essential oils and herbs, honestly, to use is rosemary. So the first
Mm,
sniffle, you want to take rosemary, and it could be any of them: rosemary cineole, rosemary verbenone, rosemary camphor, chemotype camphor, and put it between your hands and sniff very deeply, and then take it and put it behind the ears and down the neck here. And if you can get to the store and get some rosemary, to make rosemary tea from the
mm,
rosemary, even in the Safeway, in the little
mhm.
packets, make rosemary tea, cut it up, and then inhale and then drink the tea. It's one of the best things to stop, because the whole idea is you want to stop it from turning into an upper respiratory. You want to keep it out of the lungs. And the other thing that's invaluable is lemon essential oil. One drop on the honey 3 times a day
Mhm.
helps boost the immune
Mhm.
system, white blood cells. And
Yeah,
that's,
lemon is one of my go-tos. I mean, rosemary I had forgotten about, but rosemary, of course, number one. And lemon, as you say, it is such an immune booster, and it does support white blood
yeah,
cell. Um, we also use it for cleaning.
yeah.
I think in some of the cleaning agents are so toxic, and as you could probably comment more on what are some good cleaning agents for essential oils that you might use.
Yep, lemon is great. And well, any of the citruses really. Orange is
Yeah.
fantastic. And then if you
Hmm.
want to have an antiviral, antibacterial, you add a little bit of thyme, clove bud.
Yeah.
Not too much,
Hmm.
because then it smells timey,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
A
a
little too
lot of
much
lemon.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of lemon. And the
Yes.
pines
Yes.
are and the pines are really good.
Mm,
Red pine, black
mm.
pine. Little on
I
the
just
time
got
though.
some. I just got some maritime pine, ocean pine. I just love that. Talk about the pines for a minute and the different kinds. You got, red pine, and you got maritime pine. Educate us on these tree essences and how they work and support us.
Okay, so, well, yeah, I really like pines. And so, red pine, my favorite one is maritime pine too, though, that it
Hmm.
is. And so,
Hmm.
maritime pine, all of the pines you can use for respiratory, any of them, if you just pick your favorite. But when it comes to the energetics and like the sub levels, I call them the sub layers of using the oils, maritime pine is one of the most powerful, because it's the only pine that grows with its roots near the water, with hence
Yeah.
maritime pine. And so the
Hmm.
energetics of maritime pine, it helps people go with the flow. So the waves roll in, the waves roll out, and the up and downs of life. So it to me, I call it a passage essence, so to speak,
Hmm.
but it's awesome. I mean, awesome for emotional, awesome for cold, flu, awesome. Yep.
Yeah, I can attest to that. This morning, my first day back from holiday, and I was met with all kinds of problems, and my brand and web store and everything. And I was using Maritime Pine the past couple of days, and so I brought it out again, and she's been my friend today. And right now I'm feeling much more in flow. It's been the best part of the day. So yeah, you can use these essential oils to dissolve blockages and raise your vibration. What are some of your favorite ones for shock and trauma?
My favorite ones for shock and trauma are Melissa,
Mm.
neroli, and laurel leaf.
Hmm.
And Melissa it really is, it's the premier one for shock and trauma. It's its sister or cousins, lemongrass and Mei Chang, have the same
Hmm.
aroma, but as far as the psychological,
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
Melissa is it's amazing. And neroli for emotional
Yeah.
shock and trauma. You know,
Sure. That's awesome. So we're here with Virginia Joy. She is the founder of Still Point Aromatics, where she imports over 470 organic and wild harvested biodynamically farmed essential oils. She's one of our featured speakers and sponsor for my upcoming Whole Health Summit. So I wanted to ask you about inflammation. A lot of elders, they have joint pain or muscle pain. What do you recommend to help people naturally without, again, using pharmaceuticals?
so the oil that should come to mind with inflammation is German chamomile. It's
There you
synonymous.
go.
German chamomile.
Yes.
It's awesome. And you can, if you it's blue, right? It's that dark blue. But
Right.
if you
Yes.
take it and you use it neat, and let's say you have a pain on your arm and you put the German, well, you can do this actually with any oil, but you put the German chamomile
Yeah.
on your arm, and where there's inflammation, it's going to absorb in. And so you'll start to see white, and then you
Hmm.
just mush the rest of it over so it saturates it, but
Right.
it's magic. The other one that's really really good is ply ply central.
Uh-huh.
It's a root
Uh-huh.
oil, and and that's more for skeletal and pain and inflammation
More
that way,
bones.
muscular.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
the blue, it's awesome though, the blue one. It's yeah.
Yeah, those blue essential oils are amazing. I mean, you remind me of the German chamomile, but even things like blue spruce and, geez, what are some other blue essential oils? Anyway, they're phenomenal. They've got such a vibration to them.
No, they do. Yeah, and they're great for people that have trouble speaking. You just
Yes,
put some. I mean, if they're
right.
the
It
blue
helps you to.
collar, it does.
You're right.
You
It
you
does. It
become a
just,
you you
yeah,
become a Smurf, and then you could speak your truth.
exactly.
So,
So tell our audience about the flower essential oils. I mean, they are expensive, but they're so potent in a lot of ways. How do you utilize the flower essential oils?
yeah, they are. They're the cheapest, quote unquote, one would be Lang Lang. Ylang Ylang
Hmm.
is the most
Yes.
affordable ones. But the flower essential oils, they have an affinity to um, the heart, but they
Hmm.
also have which, and also they're uplifting, they help with depression and stuff, but they're also one of the great ones that help with the wheel of time, because when you think about it, flowers, um, they they get us in touch with our mortality, or the whole acceptance of
Hmm.
just the wheel of life, because flowers don't,
Hmm.
you give a bouquet of
Hmm.
flowers and they're not going to be there a year later. And they all
Hmm.
have within it
Hmm.
like this pattern of a mandala, the flower
Sure.
itself. So
Hmm.
I think flower oils are overlooked quite a bit because some people are like too strong, too stinky, too sweet, but they add a depth to any kind of formula, really, and a
Yeah.
grounding.
It reminds me of all the retreats that I did in Hawaii on the Big Island with dolphin swims. And we used to, do a whole ceremony of applying the essential oils before we got on the boat. And a lot of times, we would ask which oils the dolphins wanted. And a lot of times it was the flower essences because
Oh,
they're so heart-centered. And we had such magical experiences out there in Hawaii with the wild spinner dolphins and using the essential oils before, during, and even after the swims, because people would be processing a lot of, energy from swimming with them. And then in the evenings,
yep.
we would do meditations and things like that. So it's always great that's one of the versatile things I love about the essential oils, is being able to use them under a variety of different
Yeah.
conditions. And tell us about some of your upcoming workshops and what your offerings are in 2022.
So, oh gosh, I have a bunch, but and I love teaching. I miss the kids, I think, from my old
Yeah.
school mom days. But
Hmm.
there's there are a variety of them coming up. The next one that I'm excited about coming up is an anatomy and physiology one. And I tell people that, and they're like,
Interesting.
"Oh, how boring!" And I'm like,
Yeah. Right.
"No, not boring because, well, it's not boring. I'm not boring. I'm lots of fun,
Yeah.
but."
Yeah.
If you don't know, if a person doesn't know how their body works, how can they take back their power to help heal it? So that's the next one that's coming up. I'm excited about. So we learn
Oh, that's
anatomy,
really good.
physiology. We learn
Hmm.
formulations, and
Hmm.
applications and stuff. So
Hmm.
even
Hmm.
though people, whatever, yeah, and
Well, how can people get in touch with you? How can they find you? Give us your contact info, and I'll again put this in the podcast notes.
oh, well, that would be great. So all the oils, all the classes are on the Still Point Aromatic site. So that's www.stillpointaromatics.com. And if you want to get in touch with me, just give me a call. My personal number is 928 606 0363. So text, call. I'm happy to help, happy to answer questions.
Yeah, so I mean, you're a real service to humanity and Mother Earth with what you're doing with the Still Point Aromatics, and um, I am so looking forward to your presentation and your sharings, and I want to thank you for being part of our show today, and we'll see you next weekend at
Okay.
the summit.
Yep. For
Yeah,
sure. Yep.
take
Thanks,
care.
Doc, and Happy New Year.
Okay, you
Yep.
too. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from the Eye Clarity podcast show today. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Spotify and leave a review. See you here next time.